Introduction to Listening Skills and Phonetics. This is module second. And this module second we are going to study about sounds mispronounced. There are some sub-chapters we deal with those sounds mispronounced and silent and non-silent letters. In our school days, we were told that there are 26 sounds in the English language, as there are 26 letters in it. It's true. In our school going days, we used to learn these things, and we were told by our teachers in the primary and high school about those 26 letters. There are 26 letters in English alphabet, and those 26 letters produce 26 sounds. It's a stereotyped and a stale thought of our teachers. Yes, but we do consider it as a mere conception. As far as English language is concerned. Those 26 letters produce 44 sounds. Even today the same thing is being taught in a large number of schools in the country. The same kind of methodology of teaching is continued. Because of this misconception, most of our students fail to get acquainted with the right English pronunciation and accent. As I said, this is misconception. This must be addressed at the grassroots level, where the primary education or the elementary education will be given to the two children. They should be accustomed about the pronunciation, accent, intonation and stress. And they must learn how the native speakers speak and pronounce the words without let or hindrances in accordance with the received pronunciation, because we the Indian students and teachers alike follow the general Indian English. Therefore, our students fail to get acquainted. There must be some certain obligation imposed to the students that they should learn the English pronunciation, and they must be acquainted with RP, that is received pronunciation. For instance, let us hear the sounds of the following words. Take an example of these four words. Let me spell. The first one CAT, and the second OCCASION, and the third KEEN, and the fourth CHEMISTRY. Whereas the first one, though there is no presence of K letter, however it is pronounced as cat, not as a sat. And in the second example, it is pronounced as occasion, not as association. And in the third example, K is there anyway, therefore we must pronounce it as keen. And the fourth, ch, here CH, we make the sound a combination of these two consonants give the sound of ch, but here it is pronounced as not chemistry but as chemistry. Chemist and character, ch is pronounced as k, whereas chest and cheese, here ch is pronounced as ch. The sound of k is used for different letters, that is seen cat, cane keen, C in occasion, and CH in chemistry. In English, different letters can give the same sound, and it's also possible that the same letters in English give different sounds in words. Every language is made of sounds. Non-native English language learners use certain sounds incorrectly. We are the non-native speakers. We are not the native speakers of English. We are non-native speakers and we are the non-native learners. We use certain sounds incorrectly. We cannot claim that we can pronounce the words correctly. Sometimes we fail to follow the principles of native speakers, what they do follow. English pronunciation, when mispronounced, may lead to English pronunciation, when mispronounced, may lead to laughter. Will become a laughing stock if we pronounce the letter. Take an example of knowledge. If I pronounce it as knowledge, and somebody who is having an authority, who is conversant in the received pronunciation, who claims the authority on the received pronunciation, will laugh at me, will make face at me. Therefore, we must be careful. And listener walking out in danger. In the second, what happens? Listener walking out in danger. And then third, offense and misunderstanding by the listener. There might be the chance of both the listener and the speaker will be at loggerheads. Therefore, importantly, the most prominent thing is that make the best possible impression with one's English language pronunciation skills. There are certain institutes where pronunciation skills are taught. Therefore, what we need to do, make the best possible impression with one's English language pronunciation skills, and then master some of the trickier sounds of English. Take an example of kernel, C-O-L-O-N-E-L. Shar, Z-E-N-R-E. These are the trickiest sounds of English. Lieutenant, that causes non-native struggle. The following sounds causes pronunciation mistake for non-native English language learners. We are the non-native English language learners. We do face number of mistakes. We do commit number of mistakes while pronouncing. Take an example of sounds. The. For example, THE. 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 Think. This, that. The vowel O non-phonetically or the mid-central vowel poses problems for English language learners. For example, the word apply is pronounced as apply instead of apply. Non-natives confuse themselves while pronouncing the fricative sounds. When we produce the fricative sounds, air escapes through a narrow passage, and that makes a hissing or buzzing sound. Sounds like sh, s, z. For examples, eyes, his, his, sheep, sheep. Non-native speakers are unaware of the difference between V and W. The sound W is pronounced by touching the upper teeth to the lower lip. Upper teeth to the lower lip. V, 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 V. Example: was, while, west, west, week, week. This is about sounds mispronounced. And next we move on to silent and non-silent letters. It's an important feature, the most prominent feature or the quintessential feature of English is the combination of silent and non-silent letters in a number of words. Number of words consists silent and non-silent letters. There are many words in which a letter, though visible in spellings, is not vocalized while pronouncing the word. Though the letter presents in the word, but its presence doesn't make any importance because it becomes silent. It's not vocalized. We cannot pronounce it while pronouncing that word. Since there is no standard principle according to which some specific letters in a word are not articulated, this leads to a lot of confusion. There is no standard principle as far as pronunciation is concerned. Some specific letters in a word are not articulated. Therefore, it's a matter of grave concern for us. This leads to a lot of confusion, due to which the non-native speakers pronounce a lot of words incorrectly. If there is a set of principle or an obligation, if it is there, then it could be quite beneficial for us to follow it. But in spite of its absence, no standard principles, that leads to confusion. Non-native speakers like us, therefore we pronounce the words incorrectly. So in order to eradicate this kind of mistake, what we need to do, practice and listen carefully to the native speakers. How do they speak? How do they pronounce? Their accent, intonation, stress, everything should be imitated, practiced. With a constant and rigorous practice, we can attain that kind of perfection. We must strive for that perfection, how the native speakers pronounce. Here there are some letters which are silent in the words. In each of the following words, some letter or the other remain silent. Look at here, the group of words and the silent letters on other side. L, it becomes silent in calm, talk, word, of. Next B, comb, tone, plum, doubt, debt. And one exception is there, though the letter B. Here it's an exception that we cannot omit it, we must pronounce it. Obtain is an exception, it cannot become silent, it is the rarest of the rare kind. W, here W becomes silent in WRING. Ring and write, we are quite familiar with the word write. and rap. Then K becomes silent. Knife, in the words called knife, knee, knock, no. Then H becomes silent. Honest, honor. Then E becomes silent when it comes at the end. SAME, it is not samey. It's not, it is same. It should be pronounced as same. Age, some, rope, own, come, receive. Then R becomes silent in these words: ear, army, war, star, tear, father, laughter. And then P, in psychology, in the medical terms, psychology, though the letter begins with P, but here P becomes silent. Therefore, we pronounce it as psychology. Then the disease pneumonia, though the term begins with P, but it is pronounced as pneumonia. Kabo, Q. Then T, castle, fashion, whistle. Then ends with G, sign, design, campaign, law. The letter C is silent when it follows the letter S and comes before I, E, or Y. The combination CK produces the K sound only, as in snack and hack. The GH letter pair is completely silent when appearing in the middle and at the end of a word. In fact, the GH pair is preceded by an E. The E makes long vowel sound, as in the words light, fight, night, and sight. Non-silent letters are simply letters that are not pronounced. Take for an example, in the word sign, the G is not pronounced, but in the word signature, the G makes a sound. So it's not, we should not omit. Here it doesn't become silent. It is pronounced as signature. We need to pronounce it as signature. If the letters in words do not change to make a sound, then they are known as empty or non-silent letters. In modern day, English is 40% phonemic and 60% non-phonemic. Only some words are spelled as we pronounce them. Majority of the English words are spelled differently from its pronunciation, as they contain some silent letters. Barrier will be created in the process of pronunciation due to the presence of silent letters in numerous words. We wrongly choose not to pronounce a letter in a particular word. Words like resume, resume, and epitome are wrongly pronounced as resume and epitome, whereas the correct pronunciation are resume and epitome, respectively. The transcription of these two we can see here. Even words such as, there are some other group of words that we see here: recipe, catastrophe, apostrophe, acne, palsy, and vigilante, and many more are wrongly pronounced by silencing the letter E at the end of the word. The correct pronunciation of these words are recipe. Look at the transcription of that word, recipe, and the sound, it should be pronounced as recipe. Catastrophe, apostrophe, acne, palsy, vigilante. So far, we learnt about how the sounds are mispronounced, and then silent and non-silent letters in the group of words. So what we need to do, practice, a rigorous practice is quite essential, and it is quite appreciable as well. We should not stop our attempt in honing the skills of pronunciation, perfect pronunciation. What we need to do, start practicing, listen the TV and the news readers, and give your ears to those native speakers. How do they pronounce, how they use the words and the accent, stress and intonation. These must be carefully watched in order to strive for perfection. Thank you.